Looking good looking.
Oh. Well, I've just rustled up some grapes from the galley. 2 bunches and nicely washed under the tap. There you go.
It's a right buffet on this passage. Oh no, my hand! Save it. It's a right buffet on this passage. Me like it. We are 5 hours in, bashing. The wind is 15 knots, but so far so good. So we know that tonight is gonna be the night. If we can get through okay, we should be alright for the rest of the passage. So we shall see.
Give me them grapes. Yeah, that's better. Everything is right with the world. Tonight is going to be the bad one, up until about 5, 6 a.m. And then after that, we're just going to have no wind, I think, which will be preferable to 15 knots on the nose. The sea state is pretty calm compared to how it normally is in this part of the world. Normally here, the winds are just raging around this corner, and we'd never be able to make any progress into them. So it is a window. It's perhaps not the best window, but we have no idea what else is going to come along. So we didn't want to be sitting there in the dock in Cartagena waiting for something that may never happen. So far so good, and about 75 hours to go, I reckon, something like that.
I feel like a new man. Just had a shower and it feels so much better. You would not believe how sticky and humid you get just sitting here. Feels like hard work, really. But anyway, I give it 3 more hours and then I'm gonna go and catch up on my beauty sleep. Captain's shift for the how many hours? 83 hours is about to start.
The captain didn't get to treat himself to a little shower yet. He's all sticky and humid and covered in sunscreen. Not a nice feeling. Maybe in an hour, just before the first mate's nap. Oh, it's just past 8. The first mate has gone down to get his beauty sleep, as promised. Time for the captain's watch. And I just made some supper. Peter's pre-cooked a bunch of meals from the passage, so I got some kind of lentil concoction. It looks delicious, smells good too. That's the most decadent thing about having lithium batteries on a sailboat. So you can just microwave your meals on passage. It's a game changer. Bon appetit!
Oh, good morning, good morning. What a night. This is where I was sleeping overnight. Tom was actually dozing up there, and I think I should have followed his advice. It was far more comfortable up there than here. Literally at one part of the night, I think around midnight, I was mid-air, how much the bow was bouncing. But all good. I think we are through the worst. According to yesterday's forecast, the conditions should be only calming down now. So it's 6 a.m. I think 2 more hours of bounciness, and then we should be all good for the next 2 days. Fingers crossed. I'm gonna allow Tom to catch up on proper sleep now, so I'm gonna go behind the wheel and later on sort out some breakfast, although I don't feel like eating at all actually, so we shall see. Nothing really collapsed too much. The front room is all nice, and the galley held as well. There's no way anyone could sleep in a V-berth in these conditions, and with the engine going for the last 20 hours, I don't think it would be very good sleeping at the back cabin either, so this is really the only choice we have.
Well, one of us is looking really fresh and bright this morning. I'm not going to give you a clue which one.
Thanks.
Well, the night was fine, pretty uneventful. Well, I had a few little micro sleeps here in the cockpit as well. And yeah, we had about 21 knots maximum apparent wind. So that's maybe 15 knots true because we're going dead into it. And there was a period of a couple of hours where we had the head sail out and we were mostly sailing, but again motor sailing with the engine on. Just trying to keep our average speed well up above 5 knots where we can, because this weather window doesn't have much of a margin for error the other side. It's going to close up on Saturday evening, Sunday morning, so we don't want to be late on our arrival. But yeah, all good. That should be, fingers crossed, the worst of it over, and the wind should be calming down now to next to nothing later in the day.
The katabatic winds must have arrived. Engine is off and we are sailing at 5 knots. I think there's a bit of a storm coming over there though, so let's hope we are faster than it is. Well, here we go, 30 hours at sea. It's hot, it's boring, and it's hot. I'm down here hiding from the sun. It's been pretty uneventful. We've been motoring for ages, but this is what you get on this passage, literally. You just praying for no wind and calm seas, and you just need to go for it with the engine. So, yeah, so it's now Thursday evening, and we still have all of Friday and then most of Saturday ahead of us. So captain's looking at the weather. What does your eye see?
Lies, those were. He's not really hiding from the sun, he's hiding from the captain. But I came down and found him. Yeah, we've got the Starlink working underway for the first time ever, so we can get an update to the forecast. And nothing's changed really. The weather is still coming in a little bit sooner than I would like on the Saturday, so really speed is of the essence. We have just about enough wind that we could be sailing, and in any other passage that Bohemia has ever done, the engine would be off right now. There is enough, but with it on and just like on a low RPM, about 2000, then it's giving us an extra knot and a half, and we're taking it. So we're chugging along with that and a bit of current behind us and making 6+ knots over ground right now, which is really good, and it's going to put us in ahead of schedule. So yeah, hopefully we'll be arriving Saturday morning sometime.
Yeah, so you know, meanwhile he's doing all of that, I'm here in the lounge of the Royal Caribbean. It's reading my book, catching up on my admin, you know, all sorts. But it's really hot outside because there's not much wind, so I'm hiding. I'm hiding while I can. Need to cook dinner soon, you know, that's the highlight of my evening. Gonna reheat the spaghetti bolognese, job done.
Dinner's going to be the highlight of my day as well. I've done nothing else apart from stare at a phone screen or stare at that screen. And no meal service because the first mate's been hiding in the Royal Caribbean lounge, as you've heard. Yeah, I think hot and boring pretty much sums up our first day of passage out here. But I'm feeling a lot better actually, like over 24 hours in, actually more like 30 hours in. I found my sea legs, not feeling so queasy in the stomach or anything like that, and I can move around the boat fine. So tomorrow's going to be a whole new day, and I'm going to be a whole new captain. You watch. First mate won't need to hide down below. In club class, whatever it was.
The Cruisers Lounge on the Royal Caribbean. I'll be there, trust me. The top deck is overrated. Nothing happens here. It's all the same. Wind, sea, water, salt, sweat. Down below, so much more entertainment.
Well, let's just hope there's something on the captain's table for dinner tonight.
Seriously? Working in these conditions, it's no fun. Don't you dare telling me that I don't feed you. Okay, 2 more nights, 2 more nights. Let it be the end. Enjoy.
Bon appetit! Food at last. See, when I publicly shame him, that's when the galley kicks into gear. Looks lovely though.
Al dente. Whatever that means. Sounds very Royal Caribbean.
Special thanks in this episode go to all of our patrons for diligently following the First Mate's diary page by page. If you enjoyed this episode, you can now buy the crew a drink directly. Just look for the thanks button below the video. Thank you for watching and see you next time.